Engagement is always better, and the way technology has reduced and shrunk the distance, India and Pakistan have no real option but to come closer to each other. I mean, there's a very natural desire on the part of Indian industry to invest in Pakistan, to find its way across Afghanistan and Central Asia, because India has a very trained, modern manpower. And Central Asia and Afghanistan have a lot of resources which the Indian industry and trade can tap onto. So it's a very natural desire, and for Pakistan to find a strategic depth and cushion within India, because Pakistan cannot really feel itself secure unless there is a strong groundswell of hostility towards Pakistan within Indian decision-making class, India's youth. So it's very important for both India and Pakistan to engage, but it's not really happening because both countries are really stuck within their narratives, and the narratives are feeding on to strategic paradigms. Two things are very important. One, yes, I think Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif has been doing the right thing by keep on engaging India, even when India looks in a very nasty mood. The Prime Minister goes down and engages India. So it's a very wise policy. But on the other hand, India is not going to really engage Pakistan in a meaningful or substantive fashion just because Pakistanis are interested. India will take Pakistan seriously when India will realize that Pakistan has other options. Even this ice has melted in the past several months because Indians have started realizing, and the world has started realizing, as a result of Zarb-e-Azab and China-Pakistan economic corridor, conceptually, that Pakistan has options. Once Pakistan stabilizes its port city, Karachi, beats back the Taliban and manages to secure space from the insurgents in Balochistan who started surrendering or, getting the compensation packages and all that. And the China-Pakistan economic corridor shows that Pakistan has economic options, because Pakistan for the past 70 years only had American economic option, and then from 2008 it was being said that Pakistan's only option is this, that the Indian industry should invest into Pakistan, what Nawaz Sharif has also been saying. Once Indians and Americans realize that Pakistan has other economic options and can manage itself strategically, right, and can take Afghanistan along in a peaceful way, then India needs to engage Pakistan. They might take place in the next several weeks to months, but unless the Pakistan works hard in changing its overall perception, after Pathankot, the Foreign Secretary talks will only focus on terrorism. Even when the NSA meeting took place in Bangkok in November, before the Heart of Asia conference in Afghanistan, in which Sushma Swaraj came, the Indian version was this, and there was in fact a joint statement after the NSA talk in Bangkok between Ajit Doval and General Janjua, which mentioned Kashmir. So when the BJP government was criticized by Congress and other people within India, that why have you conceded talking on Kashmir? They said we have to talk on Kashmir because Kashmir is a subset of terrorism. After Pathankot, if the talks take place very quickly, Kashmir will only be discussed, everything will be discussed in the context of subset of terrorism, which is in fact the Indian policy, right? And which is not the Pakistani interest. Both medias have played a very negative role. Pakistan's Urdu media, television media, is very racy and sensational and right of the center. And since the Urdu media realizes that its ratings and TRPs go up when you talk strong on India, so they thrive on a very strong that India is conspiring and there's strong anti-India rhetoric. But unfortunately, the Indian media, even not only the Hindi media, but also India's English media, which also has luminaries and people who writers and authors have a very negative attitude towards Pakistan, and all their narrative towards Pakistan is centered on terrorism. I mean, they present Pakistan as a huge threat, as a fear factor. I think that India and Pakistan have to engage each other, but to engage each other, they have to come out of the narratives. The existing narratives are not really helpful, but I'm very hopeful that India and Pakistan will engage each other despite these narratives. And the reason is, it is not because Pakistan or India have very visionary leadership, or I see very visionary leadership emerging. I think it is because of the technology The world has come closer to each other. I mean, it is because of the overall change in the world that European Union has been created, or the countries came closer, or the United Nations was created. It's not necessarily because of someone's intellectual vision. It's because the technology has brought nations and states and people closer to each other. They need to deal with each other. They couldn't afford to be very far away from each other. And it is because of the shrinking distance, increasing technology, needs to make money, trade, greed. These are the things that are going to bring India and Pakistan closer.